Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here below the in the chat box, excuse me, and that'd be greatly appreciated. I'll make sure to try to get your questions or comments to become part of the show. Now, getting back to getting into the show, if you're not a member, you need to register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley, the Smart Men Flying, I'm about to say. So stunthangar.com/SMF, Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Okay. And by the way, getting back to the comments and questions, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, Saturday at John's videos, the contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. Share the videos, comments on the videos also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships starting at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account, so I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't either. And you also can help us through the super chat, which is below the chat box, the big $sign, and you can donate any amount you like. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the YouTube chat box. You also get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel at Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt, and place your comment or questions there on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera, me flying his Junar XL. And I will receive a notification and be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link now at the Stunthangar Forum. And the link is posted. Great. And now I'm going to go to what I call the control panel. And I'm going to see what's going on and make sure that it's streaming well and it's used in the chat. Fox. Hope everybody had a good weekend, and hopefully you went out, had a chance to go do some flying, and maybe you can come in and do a show and tell us all about it. That'd be great. So let me see what's going on in the stream. Looks like we're streaming now. That's great. Looks like we have 11 concurrent viewers, 10 likes already. Thank you very much. 12 concurrent viewers. So if you haven't smashed the like button, please do that. And I see Tom Rammel, he's already provided us a like. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. And Mark Lumen, he provided us a like. Thank you, Mark Lumen. I see Mark Lumen's one of our members. He's one of our fam. And so thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Gary Sinclair is also part of our family, and he's also a monitor. He says, on my way, Tom, do you have a photo for the 23 calendar? That's right. We need to start filling up the pages for the calendar. I see Lynn Burrell's in here. Just a minute, Lynn.
Yep.
And Jack Snavely says, and he's also our YouTube channel member. He says, like in, and has a checkered flag and some airplane stickers and a globe and another airplane sticker. Fantastic. So let's see, let me get rid of this here. And got it. And looks like Lynn Burrell's in the house, and so is Sparky.
Woo-hoo.
So how you doing, Lynn?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Charles?
Doing well.
Just finishing up an airplane. Should have it done in a couple of days.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
Yeah.
What airplane is this?
Ringmaster 576.
Oh, cool. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Just finishing up painting the body, and then I can start putting it all together, putting the motor on it and so forth.
Very good.
Excited to get a couple of flights before the snow flies.
Yes.
Hopefully get it somewhat trimmed out before, so I can get right at it in the spring.
Yes. Let me welcome Sparky. Hey, Sparky, I see you turning the plane over. Thank you for coming in, Sparky.
No problem. I won't be long.
No problem. And then Mark Gerber's in the house. Thank you, Mark, for coming in. And we also have Mark Lumen. So we have two Marks here tonight. Thank you, Mark Lumen, for coming in.
Hey, Mark.
Are you ready?
So anybody that, I know that Lynn just said he did some flying, or is that right, Lynn? You said
Yeah, we flew today too. We only got a couple of flights. It was really windy, but we flew, and after 2 flights each, we said, you know what? I think we'll just put them in the car and head for home. That's enough. We've been this lucky. That's far enough.
When it's that windy, did you do the full pattern or do an abbreviated?
Oh, we all staggered through the full pattern, but just it was pretty nasty.
Now, when it's nasty, do you still go down to the your regular like 5
Yeah, we go to the bean field. Yeah.
All right, and you go down to 5 feet when you come down at the bottoms, or you kind of keep it high. That's
today, some of them were a little high today. I mean, you're not really pushing the issue. It's not like we're at a contest or anything. I don't really want to break anything. It's just, we just flew for the sake of flying. It's good for the reflexes.
Yeah, that's how I am. I was just curious if it's kind of windy. I kind of bring it up a little bit, just keep it out of danger.
Yeah, I mean, some of the maneuvers I'll still do the 5-foot bottoms, but some of them it's not quite.
Like the hourglass, maybe?
Yeah, like the hourglass, and just some of them you're just a little more cautious. That's all.
Exactly. And I see Gary Sinclair's in the house. And how you doing, Gary?
Gary.
Hi.
So anybody else doing any flying?
I did a little bit of flying out with Dave out in Kansas City. Just working on the stuff, got a couple reverses in, and the loops are starting to come together and somewhat in the same hemisphere. Yeah. Yeah. But building a lot. I'm building a chipmunk, a super chipmunk, just because I've always liked that, and I got a couple of shots if you want to see the.
Sure, let's check it out.
You're all set up.
It's nothing. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this without messing up again.
Is it a SIG chipmunk?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one of the older kits. Yeah.
They fly good if you keep it light, for sure.
Yeah, trying. Yeah.
It's looking good.
And I used a majority of the wood in the kit, but lightened up some of the other. And instead of using 1/8 inch on the turtle deck and stuff, I dropped it down some. Add just some of the incidences, getting things
Very nice.
Good stuff.
zeroed out.
Nice job. Very sharp.
Very nice. So how much
Oh,
time do you have in that
yeah.
model?
Um, I'm not sure. I mean, when I go out there, I'll just, build during the day a couple of hours. That's Dave with one of his profiles he made, but he calls it the Kyiv special.
The Kyiv special. Okay.
Yeah, just in the Kyiv colors and
Very nice.
anyway, that's where it sets now. I'm sitting right at about 26 ounces, where it's at now. That's with the gear on it and stuff like that. So motor and stuff. I'm hoping to, it'll be a little over 40, I'm sure. Yeah. By the
So is
time
this the
finishing
one
the
with
motor.
the fiberglass or plastic parts?
Yeah,
in the kit?
it is. And I was kind of surprised it's to put that thing together, you just use thinner, lacquer thinner, and it melts it together. I was coming up with all kind of strange, okay, how am I going to epoxy this together? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And then, like a big boy, I finally put on the big boy pants and read the instructions, and it was very simple. They had some little pieces, small pieces to go in
Little
between.
strips. Yeah, little strips.
Yeah, and you just dripped that lacquer in there and it melted it together. I don't have any photos of it there, and I was surprised. And I tried to break it apart because okay, that can't hold, right?
Right.
But it's solid. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. That stuff is kind of heavy though. I mean, I've always thought maybe I wouldn't use the cowl.
Plastic. Yeah.
Well, I thought so. I thought so too. But then I figured by the time I get the rest of the cowl together, I mean, I didn't do a whole lot of computations, let's say. Yeah, yeah. But let me stop sharing. But it's good build practice. I want to try to get a good finish on this one. So far I hadn't been able to do a really good finish. The Hellcat's okay, but it's not a sparky finish.
Not with any gold leaf lettering, that kind of stuff.
Wow, yeah. I think I'm finally learning from sanding.
Yeah.
That sounds funny, but when to use a sanding block and when not to use a sanding block, and
Right.
how to make the highs lows without turning the highs back into lows again. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So what are you thinking about as far as the color scheme? What do you have any ideas? Which one?
I'll probably go pretty traditional with the sunburst, red, white, and blue.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Just but there again, I'm gonna try to the finish is gonna add some weight. So I've got a dope finish. I'll probably use Jap tissue just to keep it light, but that's pretty fragile. Yeah. I've got some medium silk span, and I haven't used any of the Brodak light silk span. Does anybody use that?
That's all I use.
The light stuff's good. Don't go with the medium. It's
Okay.
It's really hard to work with and really heavy.
Okay, then. Well, that's an easy choice then.
Yeah. I tried one airplane with the medium and I wasn't happy at all.
Okay.
I was really PO'd with it. I left it, but I thought, you know what? I'll never do that again. That was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Lights
Just-
are what's on this model.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
There you
Proof in
go.
the pudding. Yeah. The Hellcat has got like a really light Japanese tissue, and it
Okay.
really it stayed light. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole
But
deal.
boy-
Like, I mean,
Yeah, but boy, don't sneeze on it.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Mark, after this year, I've started realizing Sparky was so right. Don't build lumber wagons. I'm determined I'm not going to build any more lumber wagons. My airplanes flew better this year than they've ever flown because they were light for the size of the airplane.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Very good.
Once
Another
you
question.
start getting, go ahead, Charles.
I was going to ask Mark one last question. So what are your needs for power in your Chipmunk?
Well, don't laugh, and I'm going to do original Fox 35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna laugh.
You're gonna have to really keep it light, and you want that to come out around 42 ounces or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's you're gonna have to really monitor your weights as you go, because
Okay.
once it starts getting over 45 ounces, it's gonna be a
yeah.
lumber wagon for a Fox 35.
Yeah, and I can always, like I say, I can always upgrade a little bit too if I need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you can always put like a Brodak 40 in or something like that.
Yeah, and I've got an OS Max 40 and I've got another 40 FP, but yeah, I don't know. It's just something in my head that I wanted to keep it by the plan and try to stay like it was, and then get my turn at trying to run a Fox.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah.
about you?
Other than that, nothing. I've just been working a lot, and yeah.
That's cool.
That is very cool, Mark. I look forward to seeing it progress.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
So anybody else do any building or flying? I know it's Sparky's been building.
I'm still painting.
You're still painting? All right, cool.
The top coat will go on tomorrow. The final. And spend all day sanding the thing. I'll have to spend most of the night sanding it down for the final coat.
Wow, that's great.
Here's a question for Keith.
What?
Keith, this is a question for you. Look at the bottom of my airplane here.
Make it big, Sparky. 1 second. There you are.
Okay, there's the inlet.
Okay.
Okay, there's the inlet. Here's the outlet. Is that big enough, you think? Because it's pretty close to the muffler. Or should I maybe make it a little bigger?
Let's how much space is between your spinner and the rim around the back of the spinner? How much? Let's see.
About 40 thousandths.
Boy, and then you got the intake there right in front of the cylinder.
Right, that's the only intake right there. And then, it's supposed to be 2.5 times the size, but this muffler's kind of blocking quite a bit of it.
It wouldn't look that bad just to make it maybe a little bit longer and just a tad wider.
Yep.
I don't think it hurt the looks of it that much. And it's more important to get cooling or air out of there than it is maybe have the bottom of the airplane look nice. I like your bottom, Sparky, but that's looking really neat and clean. But I would open it up just a little bit on the front end.
Let me show you this. I sat and thought about it. I did it on camera, but I sat and thought about it for quite a while to figure out how to engineer this thing so it was clean. So what I did was okay, there's a mount right here. Well, the bolt is right there, so you can't get at it. So I just made an access tube so you can unscrew the bolt.
That's clever.
From the back of the muffler.
Very nice.
Get it in closer.
Would you save weight, Keith, and Sparky, if you done the louvers or like you do, Keith?
Oh, I don't know if you saved it. The louvers just are there more for appearance.
Oh, okay.
Have a big hole.
Right.
And I think if they're angled right, they might even help a little bit in getting the air exhausted out of that nose end.
That looks really nice, Sparky.
Very sharp.
I've never seen a header and muffler like that. What kind of power plant do you have there? What is that?
PA 65. It comes from Randy. It's made by Henry. I don't think you can get him anymore, but
I guess that in the header is going to be hard to find too. Yeah.
yeah, I got to clean this. It's an old header. I got to clean that header off. It's kind of crappy looking, you know. But I was kind of concerned about it. I wondering if there was enough air going to pass through there. So I figured I'd ask somebody.
I don't think you can have too much air.
No, you can't have too much, but was there enough? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I think the muffler's blocking a lot of the air because there's not much gap there.
Like I said, a little bit wider
Yeah.
would help get the airflow around the muffler, get some air through there.
I guess I could do. Oh, got some goober on there. That wiped off. I guess I could take this template here. What did I do with it? There it is.
That'd make it like 1/8 of an inch wider on each side.
I could use the bigger hole, this bigger hole here,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I was gonna say between 1/8 and 1/4 all the way around,
Yeah.
except the back. Leave the back because it's fine.
yeah, I could do that. I use this hole here, the smaller, or was it this hole here is what I use that one there.
And you're not going to change the appearance of the airplane at all. It just,
Not a bit.
you have a hole there anyway. It's just going to be a little bit bigger.
And it's gonna make it a little lighter again, so that's always good.
Yeah, that little lighter there won't amount to nothing.
No, it won't amount to much, but every bit counts, right?
Yeah. Okay, we'll make it bigger, I guess. I guess we do that now. Get a pencil.
What plane are you building, Sparky?
This is a 4th generation Junar.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
If I can keep it under 60 ounces, we'll be in good shape.
That's awesome.
Did the Junar have the geodetic ribs like that, or is this new?
Did it have what?
The geodetic ribs like you've got?
Yes. All of them that I built have been geodesic. The profile of this one is a little thinner. I mean, I drew this one out on paper, where the other one I just kind of went, yeah, okay, that's cool. I took it off of, I had a plan set here. I'll show you. I like the look of the Junar. My Junar XL is Junar in name only. There's nothing on it that's Billy's aerodynamics. That's not true either. This wing is a USA 1 wing, a 1/4 inch thicker. Only and geodesic instead of I-beam. And let me see here. I can't find that paper. Projected weight so far, I've kind of figured it out. The airframe as it sits is 28.5. Spinner and prop is 2.2 ounces. Engine is 14.35. The CAS tank is 1.25 ounces. I put a 7-ounce finish on it with them wheels, them electric wheels. They're 15 grams per pair of them. That's 53.45. Well, there's always a couple ounces of mystery weight. So we're looking at around a 55-ounce airplane.
That is awesome.
Wow.
That's what I do. I do the same thing you do now, Sparky. I write everything down, and then every few days I write it all down again, and I keep working it and working it and working it.
Well, as I explained on my video before, like this spinner, I really like the looks of Randy's spinner, but it weighs, I mean, it's a ridiculous weight. It's almost 2 ounces. This one here is, like a 1/4 ounce. This is one of Medusa unobtainium spinners.
Wow. 1/4 ounce. That's awesome.
And the CAS tank, the CAS tank as opposed to a metal tank is over 1 ounce difference. So let's say that I build this and I come out a little tail heavy. Well, I always have the option to change the spinner, change the tank, change the tail wheel,
Exactly.
move stuff around. What the
I
heck?
hear you.
What I do with that paper? I wanted to show you what I built my airplane off of.
That's what I was doing with my Bear all summer, moving stuff around, change the tail weight, change the nose weight, move this, put this washer on the spinner, move that, move this. That drove me crazy at times, but it got better as I kept working it.
I know damn well I didn't throw it away. Oh, well. I can't figure out what I did with it, so we'll have to go on.
We welcome some more guests while you look for that, Sparky.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let me make the gallery view so I can see. I'm not sure who came in next. We welcome Stuart. Thank you for coming in, Stuart. Appreciate it. And Keith Trossel, thank you for coming in. And Philip Bailey, thank you for coming in. And Carl Reed, thank you for coming in. And Caffeine, thank you for coming in, gentlemen.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, Phil,
Hey, Keith, how are you?
doing good. We got talking about the flap hinges and the elevator hinges the other day. If when you get going, working on that Focke-Wulf that you got plans for, we need to talk.
Okay.
And,
Okay. I noticed it's got those pin hinges on it.
yeah, and where you put the hinge line on those flaps and elevators, it's really important.
Yeah, I went after the talk Friday night. I went and made up a little mock-up, and I see what you mean. If you put it too far back, it comes up out of the slot.
The leading
It
edge,
needs to stay down under the slot.
yeah, the
Has to
leading
stay in
edge
the
of the
slot.
flap will come up above the surface of the wing trailing edge. And that creates a little bump there. And that's what you do not want to have.
Yeah. If it stays down, it makes a very smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Same thing with the elevators, because those elevators are kind of thick.
Makes sense.
Because the flaps are tapered and the elevators are tapered in thickness from root to tip. Why? Each of those pins, hinge pins, have to be placed pretty close to what you want.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay. Sounds
Let me
good
ask
to me.
Mark-
It's not
let me
going
ask-
to be long.
Let me ask Mark Gerber a question. Mark, did you want to get my attention, Mark? I see you tapping your microphone. No, we don't hear you. Is your microphone enabled in your bottom left-hand corner of your screen? It's enabled. Try muting it and then try unmuting it. Sometimes that helps.
It might be his headset mic because I could barely hear. I could hear some scratchy when he was trying to.
Oh my goodness, would you look who's here? How are you, sir?
Good. You never know who's going to come in. We don't have a gun, right?
Yeah.
And go ahead, Mark and Mark Gerber, and try to unmute it now and see if you can hear you.
There we go.
No, still don't hear you.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't hear you.
I heard him.
Go down to, you guys heard him?
Yeah.
You can hear Mark
I
Gerber?
didn't hear him.
Now I can't.
Mark, when you
Say
see
something,
your
Mark.
microphone in the left-hand corner, make sure your microphone is selected. You might not have it selected. There's an up arrow next to your microphone. Click on that and see what's selected.
Let me ask Phil a question real quick. Phil, how's Tommy Looper?
He has gotten over I think he's gotten over the COVID. I'm not sure, but he is waiting to find out when they're going to reschedule his bypass surgery.
Oh, so he didn't go in.
No, he came down with COVID and they didn't do it yet. I'll let everybody know as soon as he does. There's a lot of people I think the world of in this hobby, but Tommy's top of the list. He's the one who taught me everything I know. Not everything he knows, but everything I know.
Nope, still don't hear you, Mark. Mark, is that the headset wireless or there's a wire?
Wired.
It's got a wire.
Okay, it's wire. Okay, so it's plugged into the right hole. Okay. Well, you always can,
Unplug and use the speaker.
Mhm.
yeah, or you can maybe go out and come back in. That sometimes work too.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So go ahead and tell us, you've been flying or you've been building, what you've been doing, Mark Gerber.
You've been traveling.
Mark Gerber's been traveling.
Yeah.
Now he's froze.
Froze up. We just got him and then he froze.
I know he blinked. His eyes are
No, he's
moving.
moving.
Oh, no, he's
I see him
moving.
moving.
He's not dead yet.
He can do the robot really good. Yeah, exactly, Phil.
The question now is, Mark Gerber, can you hear us? I guess no.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
He may,
Okay,
I
well,
think he went out.
Hopefully he'll
come
get
back
that
in.
together. So anybody else doing any flying?
Saturday, yeah. I almost was happy with my overheads, not quite. I learned a trick. All of us are about the same age or getting close enough to it. If you find that you look up and everything starts getting really, the room starts spinning, a trick that is trying to work.
Don't look up anymore.
No, you gotta look up.
That works.
Look up and just look at one spot and then do your maneuver out of your peripheral vision. And I talked to Tom Dixon told me about it, and I tried it and about fell on my backside. And I talked to I wish I could think of it. I know this guy as well as I know. Well, anyway, that's what falling on your head does. Some days you remember everybody's name, and some days everything's a blur. But anyway, I talked to one of the guys who's a perennial Nats finisher, finishes well perennially, and he was telling me that he looks up to keep his intersection, but you do fly the maneuvers out of his peripheral. Well, I tried doing it, and you don't get dizzy sick. I still got a little funny, felt a little funny, but my feet weren't dancing. I didn't look like a drunk out there, so I
That's
didn't feel
good.
like a drunk out there. So with a little practice, I think maybe that'll work. Just try that sometime instead of looking around. I'm always pivoted at the waist and flown this one and pivoted the other way and flown the other one. And this is just looking in one spot and you don't move anything. Try that. It actually
Okay.
works.
What plane did you fly, Phil?
I fly my Vector. I didn't trust trying to fly Revolution to try to learn something like that. I don't want to lose the Vector, but I can't afford to lose a Revolution right now.
No, you can't afford to lose that.
Hey, Phil,
No.
do you have any sinus issues?
Do what? Yes.
Do you have any sinus issues?
Yes. Bad ones right now.
Yeah, with the vertigo comes with the Eustachian tubes, and stuff like that. If you got a little bit of clog,
This
that
time of year.
that inner ear can do it, but dadgummit, me in this background.
Yeah. I can't see it. All I see is your airplane, but
Dadgummit, I ain't smart enough.
there it is. What is it?
Half the
Nasocort?
time.
Look for it.
Nasocort. I might try that before I go
Or
next time.
just Afrin or something like that, just to try to keep things clear,
Yeah, I'll have to try that. This time of year, I'm always stopped up. I don't have any allergies in the spring, summer, winter, but in the fall when there's mold and we've had leaves on the ground for about 2 weeks now,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
If you got any kind of ear clog whatsoever, a little bit of swelling in that Eustachian tube, it'll mess your inner ear up and it'll
Yeah.
kill your gyro.
Yeah, it sure messed mine up. Cause that first overhead loop, I thought I was gonna hit the ground.
You
Oh,
always
me.
do like Jim Thomerson used to do when he was alive. Don't look.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what happened. Terry tried to call me and it disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Let me
Terry.
welcome Jim Hoffman. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
And I see you in your shop for
Yeah.
a change. This is exciting. I've never seen your shop.
Not much.
Yeah, I'm
So-
on there.
Well, a lot of quality machines come out of that, not much.
My shop is small, but it's indoors and air conditioned. So
Oh, that's
There you go.
great.
I thought I would try it from in here today.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That way you can get things done and be part of the show. I appreciate it.
Any new updates on the titanium testing for the gears?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't watch Friday night. I don't know if I was. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Maybe let's see if I can show you. Can I flip my screen around? Yeah. All right. So I finished them.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
Oh,
There-
that's good.
there they are. I was hoping I could just use RTV to hold it in place.
Right.
That wasn't adequate, so I had to add some clips.
Just didn't stick well enough with, yeah.
Right.
I
So,
love that lace on your wing. That is beautiful.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Is that what you call it? Or is that the right name?
It's lace. Yeah. I
He's
shoot.
an old hippie.
That's right.
That is beautiful.
Did you just use, for lack of words, did you use lace? Is it like a, oh, I can't think of the word.
The fabric. Go to
Yeah.
a dress.
He ripped off his wife's scarf or her napkin or something.
Right, yeah.
We used to do that on motorcycles all the time
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an old hot rodder trick.
back in the 60s.
I've been doing it for years. It's when it works, it comes out very, very nice. It's a nice effect,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it draws people's eyes to it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice. Well, it's
I-
good. Have
well,
you flown?
The titanium gear, and I also switched from Dave Brown wheels to these Max wheels, which are lighter.
Mm-hmm.
These Max wheels are stiffer than the Dave Brown wheels, so occasional bounce landing for me.
Huh.
But the titanium gear is a little more flexy,
Yeah,
so
I see that.
so it might be a good combination. And so I haven't flown it, but
Okay,
the net weight savings was an ounce.
wow.
So you went from say 2.5 ounces to 1.5 ounce for the pair. So I was pleased with that.
You know, if anybody, it is when you were originally talking about using the titanium, and I was thinking that saving weight and stuff like that. Has anybody ever tried like carbon tube? I guess you could use music wire like you would use in a control system, to put into your wing, and then your L bend for your wheel. I don't know if you'd be saving any weight.
Well,
Yeah,
carbon
kind of.
tube. I'll tell you what I have seen. For me, carbon tube doesn't give, but I
Right.
saw a setting. Paul Walker had them, and it was very European. There was no music wire at all.
Mhm.
Into the airframe was a plug-in detent. The wheel pant was made of carbon sheet,
Ah, okay.
and then there was a 440 screw
All right.
that served as an axle.
That's
So
interesting, too.
the two things I remember about that gear was it had no give at all.
Right.
And also, once you built it and installed everything, you were done. You couldn't, you
Right.
tweak
No adjustment.
the wire and move the wheels forward or aft a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
that's
Paul got those landing gear from me, and I got them from Casvinato.
yeah, you've had success with those? That
I
style?
didn't. I never tried them. I just bought them because I thought I was going to use them, and I said no, and I sold them to Paul.
So I know they're popular in Europe. I'd be very nervous on grass with them.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's what it's going to be.
So now what are you working on, Jim?
Oh, what am I working on? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can go back and show you. It's nothing too exciting.
Okay.
Here's the lunar that is ready for color. I bought color today. I went to the car paint store and they mixed up some color for me. So that's the next step on this airframe. You've seen this airplane before. It was in gray, I think, last time
I think you were just getting ready to put on the other base coat there, I think.
the white. So I can tell you that you can see that's a very, very thin coat of white. Added a half an ounce to the airframe.
Oh, wow. And that was dope, or is that a lacquer or some kind of?
Dope, butyrate dope, Randolph's.
Yeah, perfect.
Very nice.
No, there's that. So let's see. Here's some of the graphics we're working on. Got that. Here's another Spectra pull test disaster.
Yeah.
So actually, I pull tested some 15 thousandths cable as a reality check.
Right.
And so I here's the failed end.
Huh.
There. You can see it there.
Oh, okay.
There, and then
At what weight did you break the wire?
this failed at 40 pounds.
Okay.
I haven't checked the literature. I don't know if that's consistent with the literature.
Right, and that was a crimped in.
It failed at the crimped end, right at the exit.
Yeah.
I don't think the crimp didn't fail,
Yeah, I can see
but the
now.
wire failed. And I've been having the same experience with a Spectra too.
Yeah, I tried a longer piece of Spectra. Just something was just sticking in my mind about testing like a 3 or 4 foot piece. I thought, okay, well, maybe if I test like 12 or 20 foot, and given that braid more room to spread out the load, yeah. And I got a little more out of it, but not a lot more than the 25. So I'm giving up on that one spool. Yeah,
Load is load.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I went through every rendition of my mind and said, okay, let me wet it. Yeah, because fishing line, tensile strings wet. Just you can only beat a dead horse so much. Yeah.
Right.
Did they
Still
ever
failed. Wet or dry.
Exactly. Did they ever send you your replacement?
yes, I
And that's what you've been testing?
that's the testing this last week was the replacement. And I failed. I made up two samples, 2-3 feet each.
Right.
I failed them both at about 25, and then I retied the failed end and tried it again. Same result, and always right at the knot. The knot seemed to be intact, but the Spectra material immediately downstream of the knot failed.
I'll be there.
What was the test? What test Spectra was that?
50 pound.
50 pound. Okay.
50 pound. 50
Max
pound
Quattro.
Pro was failed for me at about 25.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. That 50-pound yellow Max Quattro.
I've decided to stay away from the Max Quattro. I've heard of too many guys having failures with it, not on airplanes, but just pulling it.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get through the pull test, though, you're probably all right.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
I'm using the regular Spectra. Like I use either 65-pound test on, say, an LA 46, or I used 100-pound on my big airplanes like my Bear or my Cardinal and stuff like that. And I've had no issues at all. And I pull test it. I don't know how much, but I pull test it good and hard, and I haven't had any issues.
Has anybody pull tested any of the Spectral line with a scale to the rated?
Yeah, I did. It broke.
Has anyone done it successfully?
No, I tested the regular Spectra as well, but not with a scale. What I did is I took a barbell weight and hooked it up to something and tried to lift the weight off the ground. And it, you know, and I don't remember what it was, but it did fail below the rating.
Okay, so that's a measured test. That's a measured test.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's very good.
Keith,
All right.
before I forget it, last week we were talking about what airplane Roy Trantham was flying that was so big, the old timer. Terry McDowell called me a while ago and he said it was a Little Mo. And that's, I remember it now. But it was called a Little Mo, and that thing was huge.
Huh. What a name for a big plane.
Yeah, we told him you really ought to get something that'll fly within the spirit. It was as big as a Shark 45. The wing was as big as a Shark 45 because there was a Shark 45 on the field, Charlie Reeves. And well, his is actually a Humbler, which is the original name for the Shark. But anyway, but everybody knows what a Shark is. And if I say Humbler, everybody, what the heck is that? But everybody knows what a Shark 45 is.
Right.
And this thing was huge. But anyway, that's what his big airplane was.
I have a question for you, Jim Hoffman. You're working on graphics. Is that the paper you're going to use a printer to print it out with?
That is the document I got from Warren, who built the original airplane. And I'm trying to get a set of decals made using that. So haven't really done much work on it. I found some places online that do that kind of stuff, and I haven't reached out to them yet.
Oh, okay.
You gonna do like a water slide decal or
well, that's what I want is a water slide decal.
Yeah, we tried some of the, you can get the water slide paper at like Hobby Town and places like that. And, I think even Howard was talking about it at one point, that, it's a hit and miss on whether either you get a good print or the paper, the water slide paper is just,
doesn't want to slide.
Yeah.
I've had success with Micro Marks material on simple, small graphics. The dilemma I'm facing now is these decals want to be gold. And your printer, or my printer, I don't know any printer that prints gold.
Gold. Yeah, no, I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I made a lot of decals. Here's one that's I made.
I think it's just you just have you got to have the right combination printer and paper, I'm sure.
Yeah. Now, let me see if I can see. Here's something convenient.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's a decal from Micro Mark. But again, it's small. All right, that's
Sure.
Here's my hand. Little. Oh, it's nice there. That's also Micro Mark. So I haven't tried anything. I haven't had success with anything big.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Very cool. I got to catch up on the chat box. I have a few comments. I think Edward Carlos sent. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. Miguel, I'm not sure how to say your last name. I think it's Purdue. He says hi, and he's also a Stunthangar member. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Then Ri-Fi, he has a question. He's asking, is Spectraline significantly less drag compared to the steel braided?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Less weight.
Less drag.
Less weight.
I just noticed the weight difference personally. Drag, I really can't tell so much, but the weight savings translate in less wingtip weight. I've taken out almost an ounce of wingtip weight in my plane. So that's the big thing for me. The drag issue, I don't know. I still see a little bit of a dragging loop behind my plane. So
and that's on
I'm not sure what weight I'm using either. I got these lines from Dennis Adamis, and if he was here, he could tell me.
And that's
hey, Charles, go ahead.
Sorry, Glenn. That's on your new airplane, Charles? Your SP11?
Yeah. I'm on 66-foot lines. And by the way, let me welcome Mike Lonke. Thank you, Mike, for coming in. And I saw Chris earlier sitting down. Hey, Chris, welcome.
Congrats, Mike, on the win.
Yeah, congrats, Mike. I saw the
Congratulations, Michael.
Congratulations, Mike.
Flight looked fantastic.
Saw the flight. It was good.
And Howard Rush is here. Hey, Howard, how
Hey,
you
Howard.
doing?
Good to see you.
All right. Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about lace paint jobs. How would you like to see one I did 40 years ago?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'm actually curious how to do it. I'm like, need to get a
I don't
show
know
and
if you can
tell.
see anything. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I built that airplane 40 years ago.
Wow, 40 years ago.
Yep, 1980. I built it in 82 to go to the 82 World Championships in Sweden, and I was unable to go.
Go back a little bit, Lynn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what model is that?
That is I designed it around a Miss Laura. It was an Alan Seacat design that Bob Hunt had done in flying models. And I built it a 35 size with a Gieske Nobler wing.
Nice.
That's what it was.
The tail
Very
looks
nice.
very German.
With an OS Max 35.
Wow, that is very nice.
Yeah, 1982.
Very nice. Thanks for
Hey.
showing. 40 years
problem.
ago. Wow.
40 years ago.
Thank you for
There
sharing
are no
that.
babies
No
in
problem.
here, are we?
And then I built another one in 87, and it was a lace paint job as well.
Wow.
Man.
Hang on, Sparky. We'll comment on your exhaust port in a second. Hang on. Let me see. Make it big, Lynn.
Yeah, there's another lace paint job I did in 87. And that airplane I flew at the Canadian Nats in 87 and flew in the team trials. And I think I was the alternate to go for 88.
Wow.
Well, I've seen that design, that paint scheme.
It was sort of a Genesis look with a stiletto tail.
Yeah, interesting. Looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1987.
Wow.
Ah.
Let's look at the Sparky's exhaust
Yeah,
on
let's
his
check it out.
unless you
I'm
separate-
actually see what motor spark he's running there.
That's a PA 60.
65, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yep, PA 65.
Let me make
Looks
it big
good.
so we all can check it out.
That's way better.
Oh yeah, you should get some
That is
air
way better.
cooling by there. That looks good.
Oh, I like the way the muffler's attached in the back. That's neat.
That looks great, Sparky.
No
Good job.
vibration banging it around. Cool.
Much better.
Yeah, that looks good.
Well, I hope it cools. That's me, whatever it looks like, it's gotta cool.
True.
I have one just like it. It'll cool fine.
Who was that?
Hoffman.
Jim Hoffman.
Oh. You got the same muffler?
No, but similar.
Yeah,
I could show you.
and I see it.
Give me a couple minutes here. Get the airplane.
Okay, sure. And let me see here. So Mark, have you got your mic working? Nope. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, shucks.
Someone sabotaged yourself, but you talk too much anyway, so I guess.
Ugh.
Well, we have Walter Umlem. He said, "Hey, Lynn, you're ahead of your time." And Walter Umlem, he gave us a smile and a wink.
Good for Walter. I'm glad I saw him on the program briefly last week
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he was there?
Yeah.
Hats off to you, Walter. Yeah.
He's looking good.
Yes, he is.
And Brent Williams says, "Hi, guys."
Hello, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
So let me get Jim Hoppin. He has a plane ready for me.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's a pretty.
Nice
Tiny.
finish.
Let me.
They're pretty color.
Yeah.
A sheeted wing too, maybe, huh?
Oh, look at
Check out
this.
that muffler with those 3 stingers.
Isn't that cool?
So that's a PA 40, and that's the exhaust header. And I plugged the aft end of it, and then I took aluminum tubing and JB weld, and there you go.
And the JB hold.
Isn't that, and the JB Weld held? That's amazing.
Yeah, yes, it is. Well, yes, I've used JB Weld on mufflers several times because you're really pretty far away from the heat source.
And
But
a cool idea.
Aluminum's pretty porous too, so that would help. Yeah.
I did remember enlarging that opening to help the cooling.
That's almost the same muffler as Windy had on his Novanta.
Okay, well,
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
just
remember
the
seeing
exhaust
that.
header pipes on it.
Yeah.
But I've had 2 airplanes with JB welded mufflers, and I know others have had success too.
Did you put the back plate, like the plate on the back with JB Weld as well, or how'd you do that?
Yes, that is
Okay.
one of the plates. You see it in the hardware stores for like aluminum furniture.
Okay.
And it's got little fingers that
I know what it looks like. Yeah, I got it.
They snap into the ID of the tube, and I
Yeah.
use JB Weld. There's no load on these parts, as long as you control the vibration.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So
how are you controlling the vibration in this instance?
That's ugly.
Okay.
Because I originally designed it to be cantilevered off the engine, and it vibrated. I could see it on the test stand. So I built a mount on the side of the muffler you can't see, and you see a little green yellow zip tie.
Yeah, I see that.
Ah.
So
okay.
So yeah, you do not want to cantilever that. You need to restrain it at the back end.
Okay.
No.
Sort of like you would restrain a pipe.
Yeah.
So I think Sparky's exhaust looked fine. So.
All right. Well, that's good.
Based on this experience.
And what model plane is this, Jim?
This, okay, let me flip it over 1 second.
Right now we have 30 viewers and 22 likes. So please smash that like button.
Oh, I love your pilot.
Oh, that is nice. Snoopy.
Snoopy is piloting most of my airplanes. That's cool.
Yeah. So this is an airplane that I met Joe Reinhardt in Columbus in the 70s, and we became good friends. We're still good friends. And this is a clone of a model he was flying in the 70s. So I built it in 2016.
I like the size of that canopy. It makes the plane look like a stunt ship.
It's a SIG bubble canopy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not small. I mean, I like how the size of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just speaks stunt.
Yeah.
That's pretty sharp.
Yeah. This was tricky. So this is a Vico spinner.
Yeah, Froome spinner. Yeah.
No, Vico, not Froome.
Oh, okay. A Vico. Okay.
It
nice.
Started off as a 2-blade spinner, and I had to fill one of the blades with JB Weld aluminum and then grind everything back and cut out.
Jim, I know you're talented, but that's ridiculous.
Are you saying you made that 3-blade? Jim, is that what you're saying?
Oh, it started
a 2-blade.
Started as a 2-blade and ended up as a 3. Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
Wow, that's amazing.
Let me see if I take it off. It should be pretty easy.
That's dedication.
That's amazing.
Well, this was the effort to, duplicate someone else's airplane.
Great.
All right.
Hmm.
See if I can show you the inside.
Yeah, I see it. That's cool.
Sure.
How about
Wow.
that?
Wow, very
That's
nice.
Good
amazing.
work.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't think it could be done until my friend Joe showed me his. He says, "Sure, it can be done. Look at this," and he was right. He was right. It's been trouble free.
Very good.
Oh,
Outstanding.
really?
So how'd you
Very
fill it
neat.
again? You filled it with what?
JB Weld and a piece of
JB
aluminum.
Weld. I cut out a piece of aluminum.
Yeah.
I ground it all to make a fit as good as I could, and then I adhered it all with JB Weld.
And
And I
file and grind
pretty
it
careful
to shape. Yeah.
it to shape with hand tools. I don't have a lathe.
You
And,
are good.
Wow.
I'm lucky. But this airplane's got a couple of hundred flights on it. This part has been pretty trouble free.
All right.
Very good, Jim. That's really
Beautiful.
impressive.
That is beautiful. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that's impressive. I hate
Very nice.
cutting holes in a spinner.
They hate doing it with a plastic one. To heck with trying to do that. Holy cow.
I'm having nightmares trying to do it with a carbon fiber one.
I've not done that
Yeah.
yet.
No, I'm not going to try that either.
Oh, it's really not that bad. It's just when I'm trying to do it, it seems like it's always I want to cut the spinner today because I know it's going to be windy. No, it's calm as it can be. All right, let's change over and go ahead and get the plane out here and get a coat of paint on it. And then either somebody calls, something happens, or it starts raining. I mean, it's just the way
Or it
things
blows
go
a hoolie.
Yeah. Just
Let
the
me
way it
welcome,
goes lately. I don't know.
Let me welcome Bob Whitley. Hey, Bob, how you
Hey,
doing?
Bob.
I'm doing good, guys. Been kind of hectic, but good.
Good. Miss you.
Yeah, I've been kind of stiff and sore. I had to kind of blow off the last week and move all my mechanical contents from one airport to another from my container. So I was doing it almost myself, moving 3 Harleys, one of which was missing a wheel, and moving my airplane and moving my tools and moving all supplies and everything else. I'm pretty beat up.
I bet. Hopefully you didn't pull a muscle.
Yeah, my knees were pretty sore the last couple of days, but they're okay today. I'm back to work flying tomorrow.
Mm.
Been doing 0 with models, except moving them out of my way.
Wow.
I did get some pictures taken for Gary, though. They're on my wife's phone, so I got to get them in an email to you, Gary. But with my vector. She took a few of them. Pick out whatever one you want to use, if you want to use any.
Very cool. Anybody else
Yeah.
do any flying lately or do anything in the shop?
Well, I'm constantly working in the shop, but I'm trying to get that Pathfinder wing where I can show it to John, but I don't see John tonight, but I think he's here somewhere.
Not yet, but he should show up.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll show up.
Trying to get that thing finished up. It's turned out pretty neat.
Hey, Jim Hoffman, or anybody that has a glass tabletop like a 4x8. What thickness is best if you're hypothetically if you were going to build a
3/8.
workstation?
3/8.
My
Yeah.
half inch.
Well, 1/2 inch would be great, but 1/2 inch is super expensive. 3/8
was-
you can actually find, and it's
Half inch was free.
free.
Yeah.
How the heck did you get? Okay, now you got me going. Tell me the secret, brother. I'm all ears.
Well, one of our club members was moving back to Ontario, and he posted it on our Facebook. They had this 1/2 inch plate tabletop, which was an old door, had a couple of holes in it, and wondered if anyone wanted. So I was the first to jump on the bandwagon and headed over there. He got it from another club member who didn't end up doing anything with it. So I ended up building a pretty decent table out of it. I showed it to you guys one night, and yeah, it's nice to have. It's just that glass plate moving it downstairs here was a bit of a beast.
Yeah, that's I guess just moving it in general. Yeah.
And, I'm not worried about rigidity on it because I repurposed an old maple butcher's table with stainless legs, and then used MD or melamine for a base for the glass, with the final layer being a sheet of 1/8 inch hardboard, which was white on the one side.
Yeah.
And then drew a Jiffy marker grid work with my T-square onto it, so I've got a little bit of quick layouts and alignment and whatnot. So it worked out pretty nice. Put a big long power bar on it. And the grand total was, I think I've got $30 into it for the hardboard.
That's a steal.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, short of finding somebody in Canada at the club that's giving some away.
I got a bunch of airplanes from them too.
Yeah.
I measured mine. It's a 1/2 inch.
Oh, nice.
Wow. You got a nice table, Jim.
About 20 years. Been very successful.
Yeah, mine's 3/8.
Jim. Oh, nice. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Not clean, but
Hey, I don't know of any working shop that's totally clean. Your shop's neat.
And that's not quite a 4x, or is it a 4x?
Jim, what's the twin hanging up in the back corner?
let me change this.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty.
That is for Classic. I flew it at VSC one year. The guy named Bob Adair published it in, I don't know, Air Trails, or I think. And so
Flying models.
okay. So it's Classic legal. It's got 2 OS 15 FPs. It doesn't have wing, so I really built it featherweight. I know that fuselage is foam with 1/32 skins. The wing is built up monocoat. The rest is paint. But I was able to fly a reasonable pattern. The corners were not what you would really want, but anyhow, to answer your question, that's what that is.
That's neat. I like it.
It looks good. What's the name of the model again? I didn't quite get that.
Well, it's an Tiger.
Tiger cat.
Tiger cat.
The Tiger cat? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a Brodak kit that is very, very similar to this. Not the same. No.
Kind of a neat looking, was that a Jim Walker rubber powered back there on the back wall?
Yeah.
15
Very nice.
cents. Or maybe they were a dime. I think the gliders were a dime and the rubber band ones were 15.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
I've got the 049 powered, I forget the name of it, profile one, and the canopy that goes over the balloon for the fuel tank. I saw one of those online for $50 for the molded canopy. And what did they sell them for? Probably the whole airplane, $1.50 in the day.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy what that stuff's bringing, and the really crazy thing is people are paying it.
I'm a cheap bugger. I'm not paying that for a little 049 thing.
Give me both.
I'll just mold one out of it one day when I get around to it.
They sure had me by the short hairs when I went and got a battery yesterday, I think it was yesterday. It was $220 for a $49 battery.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ever.
I just measured my bench, built with that door. It's 33 by 76.
Wow.
So it's big enough to do stuff on.
Big enough.
Well, I'll tell you a good one. My wife used to work on the 7th floor of this building. They had this great big table in the conference room, 4 by 8, beautiful thing, heavy duty, whatever. Somebody did something in there. We won't go into what. I don't know who it was, but I can imagine what happened. they broke one of the legs on the table. Rather than repairing it, they wanted to get rid of it. So maintenance came in and cut the other 3 legs off of the table, laid it up against the wall. And if anybody wanted it, you could come have it. Well, I wasn't smart enough to figure out this is not like Bowman Gray to give away a table like this. So I said, yeah, I'll come get it. So I went and got my trailer. My brother-in-law and I went up there to get it. We didn't think about how do you get a 4x8 table out of an office building, especially when they don't take the top out of the elevator so that you can put it in the elevator. We had to bring that thing down 7 flights of steps.
Oh,
That is one heavy son of a gun.
and no one got hurt, right?
Oh God, we were tired the next day. My brother-in-law wished he'd never said he'd help me with that one, I guarantee.
I bet.
But I got it home. I got it downstairs, put it on a 2x4 frame, and it's got a shelf, 2 shelves, and 6 legs, and it's very, even today, it's still very straight. But Lord, that
Did he
thing
ever
cool.
help you with anything again?
Yeah, I've helped him with a few things too. He's an electronics genius. He's the guy when RJR's engineers can't figure out what to do, they call my brother-in-law. I wish some of it had come down to me, but it didn't. But anyway, I'm pretty decent as a service tech, but he's an engineering type and he's brilliant. He can do stuff in his head. Takes me half an hour to do on paper. But you know, some of these scary smart people just. I got
You guys-
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, that table of mine, Charles.
I'm sorry.
Do
Say
what?
again, Bob.
If you guys want, I just cleared off a little bit of it. If you want to see my glass table.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Sure.
Okay.
You're
let me
welcome, Steve.
get-
Thanks for coming in, Steve Hines.
Hey, Steve.
How's it going?
Good.
Pretty good. Oh, that's a
Wow.
nice
That's
table.
I don't know
nice.
if that shows up. I don't know
Oh,
what
it
that
shows
X
up.
is showing there. It must be a smear.
It
I'll
shows
just step
up.
back a bit here. I got a bunch of junk on it. I've been building a 5-spool knitting winder for a friend, inventing it. I got a big power bar on there and shelf and whatnot. And then my other workbench is completely covered, but that's solid maple cabinet maker's bench there that I did as my 3rd-year project in cabinet making many years ago. So it's pretty decent.
Oh,
unit.
that's nice.
That is really nice. Wow.
Wow.
That goes with the house when you sell it, huh?
Well, the tops do come off.
I was gonna say that being that heavy.
That's all
Yeah,
mortise
goes
and
with the
tenon and the whole 9 yards. And like I say, solid maple with the 3/4 inch grid work on it for clamping down. And so the whole top is perfect so that I can use any type of clamp imaginable.
You wanna
It's
see
dead
something-
flat too.
Do you want to see something a little different?
Yeah. What you got going on, Stuart? Just a second, Steve. I'll get you.
Talking
right
about inches. Sorry, Steve.
That's okay, Stuart.
This here,
Yeah.
little marble.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
marble's
man.
nice.
Then
Yeah,
what I
marble's
did
nice.
was I put, because I got a magnetic building board, then I got a sheet steel on here. So that's what I did.
Nice.
I got that from a
Cool.
guy that had, he got them from cabinet makers or the guys that make cabinets that had end pieces and stuff. So I
Right.
got it pretty cheap. I think it was like $40 or something.
Holy crap.
Good gracious. You know what that stuff sells for?
Yeah, I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
I want a bigger one eventually, but this is good enough for now.
Everybody wants.
How
a
thick
bigger
is that
one.
marble? How thick is it?
How thick is this? Well, this one's got the you know how the edge on the front of them is rounded.
Yeah, like a bull nose.
It's about an inch thick,
Inch and a
roughly.
Wow, nice.
So it just
Nice.
Yeah, for kitchen cabinets, 1 inch is typical, but usually, you're a bit limited in depth if you're dealing with offcuts. But a person can splice them together and do a seam on it.
Very nice.
I had a chance to get some too before this one was handed along to me, and this was just an easier route to go.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, go ahead.
All right, Keith may have, I've never heard of this. I don't know if who's heard of it. Keith may have.
Omega
Oh, yeah.
Stunner. You remember that, Keith?
Midwest.
And you're selling it for $10, are you, Steve?
No, I'm giving away for free if you buy. What did I do with it?
Drum roll, please.
Yeah. Need to get sound effects for this.
Ah, either
36.
That's
What
no.
it is, I went to a swap meet and I got this brand new motor for $45. I don't want it, but I'm like, man, it's cheap for the motor.
Is it RC?
No, it's control line.
Yeah, it's control line.
That's CL in the box.
That's why the guy let me have it so cheap because he couldn't sell it to nobody.
Oh,
So it's got both mufflers and everything, does it?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
brand new. Has everything. So
Steve,
the
are you
deal
still
is,
flying radio?
yeah,
Are you still flying radio power? I mean, glow?
no.
Okay.
So, and I got 2 of these, and I have like 3-cylinder and bearing sets for it. Before, when they did a closeout, I got 3 cylinders, pistons, bearings for I don't know, it was like $40.
What do you want for the whole deal?
So if anybody wants the motor, they can have the kit for free. The box is shot because I got it for free. Guy, nobody was selling nothing there. The guy gave it to me. The only thing I can find wrong, landing gear is rusty.
What's the engine?
Evolution
It is
36.
a
What do you
Evo.
want for the engine, Steve?
$45.
I'll take the engine, but I don't want the kit.
Okay.
Charge them extra for not taking it off your hands.
Well, it's 45 plus shipping, and so that's why I figured, but if somebody else wants the kit, they can have it for shipping.
What's that?
If anybody wants
Okay,
the
that's
kit,
fine.
they can have it for the price of shipping.
I'll take the engine and use it as a giveaway.
I'm gonna tell you what, shipping will eat you up right now. I just bought carbon rods for push rods, 36 inches long, and the darn shipping was $36.
I mean, the motor was going for $100 and some bucks, and you couldn't get them. Everybody wanted even more, and then, but it's a great motor. That's my favorite 36.
I bought
Yeah.
one. I bought one this summer, but it's a RC engine. It's back in St. Louis, and I need to make a Venturi and get a needle valve for it. But that's what I was going to do with them, give them away this Christmas. So send me a private message on how to get you the money, and I'll send you the money.
I'll tell you what, I will swap you for the RC 36.
That works. Whatever. I won't be back to St. Louis till the 8th.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. Then, yeah, we'll just swap. And because I always like that 36 motor. I wanted it, if I ever do, I probably won't, but on Carrier.
Yeah,
The
it's
thing
brand
is-
new, same as yours, brand new in the box, never mounted.
Cool.
It might be in my storage locker here, I don't know. I gotta go there and check before I leave anyway, but I'll look and get a hold of it, and we'll swap, no problem.
All right. Yeah. Because I was going to use that for a Carrier motor because they run so strong. And then they change it to the 40 and you can't run that in Carrier.
You put an old FP40 backplate on them to get rid of that crappy plastic backplate.
Just
So you can pick those up on eBay.
I got
They're
'em.
easy.
It's
This one's got a metal backplate.
Oh, that's because it's control line, yeah. I think the RC one's got a plastic backplate.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't think that had plastic on that one, but yeah, so I mean, it was,
I think it's a remote needle valve too.
yeah, and it's got the 3 different Venturis and what I did to make mine run good is that I took a FP25 needle valve, unscrew it out of the carburetor on, because I got some carburetors from the old FP20s. Unscrew it, screw it into that, and that bar is big enough to cut down just enough of the flow that the thing runs great.
I think I got a brand new FP20 in St. Louis too.
Yeah, so that'll go right in there, and then you don't even have to get a Venturi made up. But they're one flip start motors, and I love the ones that we ran, but I got 2 of them.
Hey,
All right.
Carl.
I gotta go. See you guys later.
See you later.
Okay,
See you,
Sparky.
Sparky.
Yeah,
All right,
find
Sparky.
out, let me know, Sparky, and I'll ship it to you and stuff.
All right.
Hey, Carl, that motor's supposed to be a one flip motor. You had me holding your plane for a half an hour. What's going on?
Well, that's because of what hasn't been ran in a long time. But once they got it started, there was a one flip after that.
It's always
I
one
got
flip.
2
Hey,
of them, and I love them. I love the Evolution.
hey, it's always a one flip
What?
motor when it goes.
What was that? That's true. That's true.
I was just giving you a hard time.
But no,
Carl.
very seldom do I have any problems with them, and I take them out, fill them up on the bladder, and put our prime in it, and then more than none, it fires right up on the first hit. So,
Yeah, I just couldn't resist. Because
and they are a strong running motor, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The only Evolution I've
Well,
got
you just became aware.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
whoops, somebody cut out. Just
Yeah.
saying, the only Evolution I've got is a 61 RC that I just couldn't pass up the price on it. So I needed
Yeah.
it like another hole
Oh.
in my head.
It's a boat,
Yeah.
boat anchor.
Well, I picked it up to throw in an RC plane someday.
Yeah, they're good for an RC, but they're no good for control. I'm pretty
Yeah.
heavy.
The
I got a
Evolution
whole
61
whack of
is heavy.
60s and whatnot.
61
Yeah,
is heavy.
61
The
is
60 is light.
I'll dig
I
it
have-
out and weigh it just so
Oh,
you
they have
guys can
both a
have a
60
laugh.
and a 61. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the 60 is nice and light on the Evolution, but the 61's a boat anchor.
Yeah, the 60 is a small case. The 61's a big case engine.
I gotta see what I have. I have one of those too.
Hey, Stuart.
Yep.
You going flying tomorrow?
Maybe.
All right, we'll see what we get for weather.
Actually, Brad sent me an email and said about the wind, so I don't think it's going to be good enough.
Okay, well, we'll have to see.
We'll see what happens in the morning if it does.
Okay. All right. Sounds
So did you
good.
get it? Once you got it running, Carl, it ran okay?
Yeah, I was just giving him a hard time. He flew it several times that day.
Oh.
Just the first time.
I was gonna say mine.
Well,
Mine's
well, the
been-
problem was the one I was starting here last week is almost a brand new motor. Doesn't have hardly any run time on it at all. So, and I go through a little bit of a break-in period, but once I got it started, and of course it's operator's error when I flooded it the first time, then the glow plug died out. But when I get those bugs worked out of it, it fired right up every time I wanted to go fly it. And then I have another one that has a lot of run time on it. Very seldom any problems with it. It just flip and go.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Good.
quite the beast.
You have both
20.5 ounces.
20.5 ounces.
That's
Oh,
just the engine without the muffler.
Holy crap.
That is a beast.
Let me see what the muffler is.
3 ounces.
The muffler is 5 ounces.
Five
Whoa. Well, that's
Golly.
still lighter than my Super Tiger 51 muffler.
Now, just for comparison, I'm gonna weigh a Sato of mine here. 22.3 ounces for a Sato 125 4-stroke.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
So proportionately, the Evolution's a pretty darn heavy engine.
Yeah, I have to see if I have a 60 or a 61 downstairs when I get a chance.
I got the 60, and that's built in the 40 size or the 36, 40 size case.
Okay.
They weigh just about the same as the other ones.
I hear they're pretty darn good engines, actually.
That 61 is a damn good engine. You can put that on a pipe and really turn the RPMs with that, and it lasts. It won't destroy the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to put it in. I got it for $100 Canadian. It was an impulse buy.
Yeah. I got both the RC and the control line version of the 60. But
although
that one of
probably
mine,
a
that
better
36, it's been crashed 2 or 3 times. I don't know how many gallons of fuel has been through it, but the original glow plug's still in it.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, for comparison for RC, my brand new HB 61 is probably a better engine, actually, but that one was free, so it's a way better engine.
Yeah, free is always good.
Somebody's selling an F-150.
Yeah, my wife's listening to the news. I don't know. I've got my own views on that. That's
I don't watch
weird.
the news anymore.
Do what?
I don't watch the news anymore.
I try not to.
You know, Mark, that airplane's flying pretty slow behind you. It's been in the same spot
sure is.
all
Sure is.
Right.
Yeah,
The thing just hovers right there.
longest inverted flight time. The judges already left the contest.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. VTOL. Yeah.
Look at the guy in the center of the circle. He's just looking at the camera, smiling.
That's because you can't do anything else. You just hold it there.
I tell you what, it took me a long time to get one that would fly inverted and fly level like that. I think a lot of it was my hand, but anyway, it took me a long time to get to that point.
Well, I've certainly found out that, you know, control systems and CG, I mean, all of it is certainly relative, but when you finally find one that, or get one that does, you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to feel like. Yeah.
I have a
You
question.
know, reminiscing with, sorry,
I have
Charles.
a question for Mike Lonke. Hey, Mike Lonke, if you ever want to do a report on the contest,
Now in
I'll let
setup,
you know.
follow
That'd
the
be
instructions
wonderful if you did
in your
that.
Alexa app.
I can and I will. I just got to pull up a few tabs. I have some pictures to share. I just need to make sure I got all the tabs and the photos pulled up so I can get through it pretty quick. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Give me a minute and I'll minimize and I'll make sure I got everything pulled up and we can talk about it. Steve, sorry I missed your call. We were playing phone tag.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, and
tried-
I went and could find my phone. I left it on my garden tractor, and
we called you, Sam and I called you on the way to Florida, and it looked like you tried to call us back, but then you weren't there. And then I tried to call you yesterday and today. But anyway, we'll catch up.
all right.
Looks like it
So
was a
something
good
that
contest.
I've been doing is when I get a chance every Friday, some of the guys from the RC clubs just get together for brunch on the south side of the city. I started dropping by because there were some old friends there, and there's 3 or 4 guys, 4 or 5 guys from my old control line days back in the 70s that are into RC now. Just do that. But it's kind of neat meeting up with the old guys and chatting about old friends and everything else. And one of them wanted me to say hi to Howard. And that's Murray McDowell.
Oh, hi.
I'll pass along that you said hi back to him if you remember Murray from back in combat days in the early 70s.
Oh, good. Thank
But yeah, it's nice to see everyone and like I say, reminisce and whatnot. And unfortunately, there's been way too many pass away, but
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah, if you meet up with any guys in RC control line, whatever, modeling, it's old guys.
Yeah. Heck, I'm one of the younger whippersnappers there.
I have a Jim. You have a Jim Hoffman. You ready to do a show and tell?
Sure. Very.
Let me make it big, real quick. You said, but it doesn't have to be quick.
So earlier I heard someone speak about kitchen countertops.
Yeah.
A few years ago, we had our bathroom countertops redone in granite. And so we bought a slab. And so I chatted with the guy who was doing all the cutting. And I had him cut me some blocks here. They're
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
they're 3/4 inch thick. I don't know, look to be like a 4x8, maybe something like that. But I've got a dozen of them. They weigh, I don't know, pound or two each. Very handy. Very handy. So that's all I got. I just
very cool. Now, what things have you used them for?
Well, when you're building something on that nice flat glass table and you got to hold it down, that's
perfect.
That's one.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You can use them if you're doing a foam. You know, if you're putting your balsa on a foam wing.
Yep.
For your weights.
Or if you're putting doublers on a fuselage or anything like that.
Oh, chipmunk, pretty.
Oh,
What about maybe sanding something flat? Maybe if you have the stick on sandpaper, I mean, the marble is pretty flat, right?
Yes, but it's heavy. I don't think that would be a great choice.
Well, I mean, put the wood on top of have the mallet piece, the marble piece on the table, put the sandpaper on that, and then put the wood, slide the wood across the marble, I mean.
Well, if I'm going to do that, I simply tape the sandpaper to the glass table. That's the purpose.
Yeah, it's funny, Jim, because I didn't know I was sharing again. I just was gonna look at the photos. I got those same pieces of granite or similar pieces of granite. Yeah, you use it to hold the thing steady.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Very cool.
Yeah, but that's what we use. We got some of them, Charles, and we use it for like a sanding stone, but for like your cases and stuff like that. If you're not getting a good back plate seal,
right,
you can check all that kind of stuff, and then on
although if you really want that,
YS motors,
get one of these.
A
facing block.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is actually a surfacing block. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a buddy.
It's heavy.
Yeah, you pay $100. I don't know what he paid for his surfacing block. He paid $180 or something.
No,
but the marble works.
I got it on a clearance thing for $40.
You know, so you can get a piece of, you can even do it. I've done it with glass too. But on YS, like the 53s that nobody cared for, it was a machining problem on it. And once you flattened all the surfaces and then put the gasket back on them, they ran great. And we were buying them up for cheap because nobody liked them.
What a bit Jim Hoppin, good night. I think he's on leave pretty soon. So thank you, Jim, for coming in. And what do you got there, Stuart?
Oh, you talked about using that to hold stuff down. I went to the metal shop and I know the guys there. And I just picked these up. These are solid steel. Same thing, just for weights, for holding stuff down when you're trying to glue stuff down and that. So it's just another idea if you got a metal shop around you. These are just little end pieces they had that
cut-offs,
yeah, cut off. So and I got them given to me, so that was even better. So just another idea, because that's solid. It's heavy.
Yeah, I bet it is heavy. I've seen what was his name? I think it's Joe, one of the friends of Wendy Arnowski.
Joe Adamusco.
Joe Adamusco. He uses these big nuts. I mean, like these nuts must be like 2-3 inches across, maybe even bigger.
I saw those. I remember.
That was pretty cool. I used that to weigh down the leading sheeting edge on his wing.
Yeah.
So here's what I use for weights, and that's a bag of shot.
Yeah, shot.
Oh, that works too. That's really good. Yeah.
And like, say if you want to weight your fuselage or whatever and go across the round surface.
Yeah, it conforms to the shape. Yeah.
Right. And these work so good, and they don't slide. they're made of cloth, you know, that whatever kind of cloth that is.
Yeah.
And they won't slide and they don't mar and stuff like that.
Another thing from the days when I used to actually do workouts, these 10-pound ankle weights work really good too.
Yeah.
Because they perform.
That's
Or another thing too is I don't throw out these batteries when they die. I use them as weights around the workshop.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, I got one of those. I got one of those old ones too. Yeah,
Yeah, I got a
that's
couple
good
of them
idea.
here. And
Yeah, good
I
idea.
use the ballast out of fluorescent lights, so 6 foot, 8 foot lights. I got those big ballasts. I use those for weights too.
Full of
I find them in the dumpster, and I take
Yeah.
them apart and get the ballast out.
Yeah, full of PCBs though. Good for you. No problem.
yeah. And when they spring a leak, they ruin the rifles that are stored underneath them.
Oh, okay. And before we go to Mike, if he's ready, I got a question in the chat from Rick Wallace. He's saying, Steve, what are you building for carrier? I built a F9F Panther.
I don't know. I just wanted to use that. At the time, all the motors were real expensive and stuff they're using for carrier, and you couldn't get them anymore. And I knew how fast they were on a RC airplane, the RPM they'll turn and stuff like that. And I just thought that would be a good, and you got to have a throttle, and they qualify for, you know, displacement stuff. So I was just gonna do that, but
Are you doing profile or class 1?
I don't know.
Sheet fuselage or built up?
I don't know.
The thought
He doesn't
process.
know.
Okay.
He's just one of those things I'm thinking about doing. And then let me welcome Steve and McBride. Thank you for coming in, Steve. Appreciate that. And then last on the
Steve.
chat box before we go to Mike Lonke is Walter Umlin says, hey guys, I'm going to say good night. Hey, good night, Walter.
All right, well,
Take care.
Night, Walt.
Good night, Walter.
And if you're ready, Mike, this is all you.
Oh, he's still muted. There we go.
All right, I'm here. Are you ready for me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. King Orange International 2022 in Florida. Great contest. Wayne Smith does an awesome job of running that, and Kathy, and of course, Doug Patterson and his wife Kathleen are down there doing scoring and judging. Let me get my share screen up here. There we go. Everybody see that?
Yeah, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is profile, nostalgia 30, old time, and Warbird Day, which was Saturday. That's Mike Waldron with his profile SV11. Of course, there's Sam's Vector. Here, I busted out the Sakatumi. That's what I flew in profile. Sakatumi that I built a few years ago. One of Walter Umlin's kits.
Okay.
That's Wayne Smith's Cavalier. I actually flew that in N30, and I did pretty well with that. I actually finished in second place in N30 with that airplane. I flew it once on Friday and then put up an official on Saturday morning, and I was 1 point behind Gene Martin for first and second. And my second flight, I was taken off, and I needed 1 point, right, to beat Gene. I had to get a little bit better. So I was really going to grease the takeoff, and I greased it a little too hard, and I had a prop strike, and I broke the motor off the front of the engine.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, he had a nice 3D printed mount, one of the Adamison 3D printed mounts for the electric motor. So all it did was bust the electric motor mount. It actually didn't break anything off the airplane. Didn't break any of the wood or anything like that. So those mounts are pretty good for profile electrics, I think, because if you have a prop strike, it just frees the motor and it doesn't break any of the wood on the airplane. So
that's a good testimony.
Somebody's ringmaster. I don't know whose that was. Will Davis's PT-19. That's Dave Hemstraut's PT-19, right? That was IC, and then Will converted to electric. Will flew that in old time and nostalgia 30, I believe.
Probably Warbird too, if you had it.
Oh, I'm sorry, not old time. Warbird and Nostalgia 30 is what he flew it in. There's a Tom Morris Cavalier. That's Rick Osborne's P-51 Mustang electric that he flew in Warbird. Another Tom Morris Ringmaster. Not sure who the Lark belonged to.
Nice. That's pretty.
Don't know whose Vector that was either. Electric Vector. That was, whose Caprice was that?
Pretty.
Eric Taylor. That was Eric Taylor's Caprice.
Like that spinner.
SV11, that was Dave Hallis's. Not sure whose that was. Ron Waldron's SV11 profile. Bob Whitney's Big Job. Bob actually flew that in old time, and he used that in Pampa Advanced on Sunday as well.
Wow.
What engine did he have in it, Mike?
I don't know.
Tiger 60.
Yeah, probably. Interesting though, Bob had a diesel old time stunt airplane that he was practicing with on Friday. He had a PAW 35 diesel in an old time stunt plane. I don't recall the airframe that it was in, and it was awesome because he was firing it up in the pits and it smelled great. He got it running and it was, sounded great, smelled good. And when he went to fly it on Friday, it broke a crank during the flight. So he didn't get to use it in old time on Saturday, which was disappointing. That is Lynn Weedman's Cardinal, profile Cardinal. Tom Weedman's P-51 Mustang, which he flew in profile and Warbird, I believe. Not sure whose Oriental that is. Profile Oriental, I think.
Cool.
Tom Weedman's Super Twister. This twister is giant sized twister, and I think he has a PA-60 side exhaust on this airplane.
Wow.
The picture doesn't do it justice for size because it's massive. It's huge twister with a PA-60 65. El Diablo, one of two that was there. There's another one.
Red Reinhardt.
There's Will Davis and John Simpson. Len Bechtold, and I believe that's Dennis Toth. Dennis Toth. He's on the forums as well. Kathleen Patterson, tabulator for the weekend. Larry Hillier. He was a new intermediate flyer that was there. There's Dave Hallis, Alan Buck, and Rick Osborne, part of the Florida crew. Well, Alan's Pennsylvania. And our fly-in was held on a full-scale airport with a runway, and this guy came in to watch for a little while. So
I love that. Stinson 108. That's the airplane I went for my first airplane ride in when I was 5 years old.
yeah, this guy lives on the airport, and of course Ron Waldron lives there too. This is an airport community. There's homes with hangars on it. And Ron said to me, he pointed at the airplane when the guy landed, and he said, "Man, you couldn't pay me $1 million to get into the airplane. That is the biggest piece of junk on the entire airport." And he knows the guy that owns the airplane, and he puts AutoZone parts on his airplane, and it's not the most well-maintained thing. But I thought that was funny. Ron was like, if he offers you a ride, don't get in it. So.
That's funny.
So we're going to get rid of that one.
Do you have good weather, Mike?
We had awesome weather. Beautiful weather. It was the best.
I didn't know if it was windy or not. It's usually nice and warm down there, but.
It was cold. I mean, it was like 40 in the morning, but by 10 o'clock it warmed up and it was nice. Okay, we'll get to Pampa Day. This is
Oh,
here's all the Pampa stunt ships.
Look at that, a bear.
Was
pretty.
that's Mike Waldron's Shark. Of course, Trian's Revolutions. That's Jason Schulman's Pathfinder XL. And I'm going to tell you guys a little story about that a little bit later on, where that airplane come from and what he ended up doing with it on Sunday. It's a great story about a new guy in control line and how a little bit of help from some people can get you far. Orestes Hernandez Shark, right?
Now, is there different sharks? Because I know the tail is different on that than Waldron's.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, and Orestes built his too. Like that one's BOM legal because he went over there and did whatever he had to do to build that one. So, but I don't know about the differences in the airplane, other than I know that Orestes can fly that one at the Nats because he went there and built it.
One of them's more elliptical than the other.
Tempest, I think that's Gene Martin's airplane.
That's Jane's airplane, yeah.
Not mistaken. Shrike, that is one that Matthew Colin built, and Andrew Jaworski is flying that one currently. There's my Axioma.
All right.
Will Davis.
Yep, that's Will Davis's Max B.
Hmm.
Don't know whose Vector that is. Sam's Vector profile again. Len Bechtold, beginner. He was the only entry in beginner. He was flying a Brodak P40 ARF. Bob Whitney's big job again. I think that's Wes Eakin's Katana, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's Wes's from Kentucky. Eric Taylor's Blue Max, I believe. Eric Taylor, yep. Rick Osborne's SV11, and that was previously a Waldron airplane. I believe that was either Mike Waldron's or Ron Waldron's, and they gave that to Rick last year or the year before at King Orange. And Rick is doing very well with that airplane in intermediate. He's still an intermediate flyer, but he's doing very well with it.
Is that plane painted or that film?
It's film. It's all film. It's all film.
That's one of the Smith brothers airplanes.
No, this is Dave Hallis's airplane.
Wow.
It's a Tracer. It's a Tracer, which is a Smith Brothers design and airplane. You know, Jim Smith was big on the Tracer.
Yeah.
But that's Dave Hallis's. Dave went down there and built one with Jim.
That's cool.
Alan Buck's SV XL.
Yeah.
Another Blue Max. I don't know who that one belongs to. Can't remember. It's hard to remember everybody's names and airplanes that they own. Lynn Weedman's Cardinal again. He flew that in Pampa on Sunday. Tom Weedman's Mustang again. I'm pretty sure he flew that in Pampa Expert too on Sunday. And we're back to the beginning. Okay. So
Whose airplane is that, Mike? The yellow one?
the yellow one.
The one before
The
that?
bear. The bear. That one.
That is Andrew Jaworski's airplane. It was not flown in the contest, and I don't remember who built it. It was bought. It was, not store bought, but Andrew bought the airplane. He did not build it.
Pretty.
Okay, so let's
Very
get
nice airplane.
rid of that tab.
So who won advanced?
Hang on, we're getting there.
Mike did.
Slow build, guys. Slow
Hang
build.
on, man. I
Don't
got
you
it.
wish you could just reach out and slap Steve at times, Mike?
Wait a minute. That's not what I want. I'm sorry. Okay, we got that.
There you go.
There we are.
Okay, so this is the fly off event. So what they do is they take the top 3 from expert, the first, second, and third place from expert, and the advanced winner, and they all fly off one flight in front of 3 judges instead of 2. You got 3 judges, one flight, and the winner gets the King Orange International Perpetual Trophy. And the 3 expert winners were Orestes, Mike Waldron, and Tryon. And then I was the advanced winner. So we all put up one flight in front of 3 judges. And of course, Orestes was in first place. Tryon was in second. Mike Waldron was in third. And I came in fourth, obviously. But what was interesting was Mike Waldron beat Tryon in the expert class, but in the fly off, Tryon bested Mike Waldron. So that was pretty good for Tryon. And I have these are the scores from the fly off. So you can see Orestes was in first with 585. Tryon in second with 573, Mike Waldron 568, and me with the lowly 547.
You only flew one round?
Yeah, just one. You get one chance for one official, one flight. Because it's the flight, it's Sunday afternoon, the contest is over. They just do one flight for one score.
So those were all composite airplanes, were they, Mike?
They were, and some people had commented on that. It was an all electric, all molded composite airplane fly off, which was interesting. Few people didn't like that so much. They were like, where's the BOM home built airplanes? And I was like, well, Tryon had a BOM legal airplane because he built it, So did Orestes. Orestes built his as well. But it was good for me. It was interesting for me to, I got to fly against Orestes Hernandez, man, and I went out there and did what I could. And, it was a good opportunity to see where you stack up against top level guys,
Yeah, just a minute.
I mean, 40 points, it's not that bad for Orestes,
Okay.
You were closer than the other one, to the other guys.
So. I think I have 2 more. Okay, here we go. We got that?
Yeah.
All right, Will Davis, our one and only Will Davis. We love Will. He's the Metrolina Control Line Society president, club member, Huntersville guy, and Will does Joe Knoll, and he's everywhere. Will does everywhere in Control Line. And that's Wayne Smith right there, for those of you who don't know. He runs the King Orange. Will won the Concourse Award for his Max B. So there's Will and his Max B. He got the Pilot's Choice Award for the contest.
Good show.
Does he have all the Egar claptrap in his Max B?
He does. Yes.
Hey. Cool.
He does, Howard. Yes, sir. All right, let's go to this one. Are we on this page?
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy with the long beard, that's Jason Schulman. And Jason is very well known in the RC pattern world. He's a top level competitor in RC pattern. He's been on the team. He wins stuff. He goes to contests all over the United States. He got into Control Line If I say 2 years ago, that's a long time. I think it might just be a
It was-
year.
Yeah, it was just before.
Just before Joe Knoll last year.
Yeah.
And he flew beginner at Joe Knoll last year with an electric flight streak. And he got this Pathfinder. The guy on the far left in the picture is Andrew Jaworski. He's also a top level RC.
Oh, that's Andrew?
On the far left, yes. And both these guys are like, they're sponsored by like JR, Futaba, engine manufacturers, airframe manufacturers. These are high level RC pattern guys, right?
Right.
And they got into control line. I met Jason at Joe Knoll last year. He was flying beginner. But long story short, last weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Andrew purchased this Pathfinder XL for $50 and brought it to Jason. Last week, they put electronics in it and a motor and everything. They brought it to contest, basically unflown. And Jason is a beginner pattern flyer. But on Saturday, Will and I and Sam worked with him. We got the airplane trimmed out. We had to add a little tip weight, add a little nose weight. Will was doing 2-minute flights on the timer so we could, just kind of get the airplane flying well. Once we got it flying well, we went out and Jason flew his first his first full AMA pattern. Obviously, he studied the AMA pattern, so he knew what the maneuvers were, right? He knew the pattern, but he had never actually flown it. So he flew it on Saturday for the first time, like twice. I went out there and called for him, and he did it twice. Sunday morning, he entered his first intermediate contest ever in his life. I went out and called for him, and he flew the whole pattern. He did well. He didn't crash, but, everything was a little big. I told him, fly big. Big is okay in intermediate. And he did well. Well, for his second flight, I said, if you want to improve your scores a little bit, just fly everything a little smaller. Because he was flying big at like 65 degrees, maybe even 70 degrees, tops of his maneuvers. I said, go out and try to fly at like 50 degrees. You don't have to do 45s, but do 50, 55 degree maneuvers and your scores will go up. Well, he was in second place after the first round. He went out in the second round. He flew smaller maneuvers. And he won first place.
Oh, that's cool.
Just a moment.
All right.
Guys, reconnect.
First ever intermediate contest. And he put up like a 539 or something like that on his second.
Wow.
Jesus Murphy.
Wow.
He had never flown a pattern till like 18 hours before that. Never flown a full pattern.
That's amazing.
539?
I believe so. Yeah, he was a 505 or 510 on the first one. And then he came back and he busted a 539 just by making them smaller. But we all helped. Andrew got on the airplane. Will was running the timer, setting the timer and the ESC. And Sam was launching for him. And I was out there calling for him. And he did great, man. Wow. He did great. That guy, he's a natural. He's a natural. He's a great RC pattern guy. So he understands up from down and insides and outsides.
Exactly.
You're going to see big things from him, I think, in the future.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you get on YouTube and look up indoor 3D RC flying and watch them guys, they can take an airplane and dive it at the ground and stop it and back it straight up and then pull out.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't believe how good them two guys are. Andrew's been to the World Championships, I don't know how many times for full-size pattern, but when he's won a bunch of indoor 3D stuff. It's crazy how they can balance an airplane and bring it straight back up.
Yeah, and they understand trim and everything else, so he's not going to have a lot of trouble getting into this.
Their hand-eye coordination is so good that
wow,
he'll do well.
I got two more little things for you.
All right, man. Make it big.
They always have a pretty good raffle. They always have a pretty good raffle at the King Orange, and
You're big now.
Sammy,
Got there.
Sammy won some drivers, you know, some ball drivers, which was okay.
Oh, very cool.
Then we didn't win anything else till the very end. And Sammy got the big tomato, man. Bob Hunt lost foam wing for an SV22.
Wow.
Nice.
Very nice.
Damn, he's as lucky as you are. And winning.
That was the big tomato. That was the big one for the raffle. And Sam got, well, I'll tell you, when Sam wasn't flying, he was out there pitting for everyone. Everyone that had electrics, Sam was out there pitting, pulling their arming plugs, making sure everything was set. He was doing that all day Saturday, well, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Nice.
And he pitted for Will Davis a lot. And on Sunday before the raffle, Will came up and he had a stretch of tickets. And he said, Sam, thanks for pitting for me all weekend. Here you go. These are yours. So Will had purchased a bunch of tickets and gave them to Samuel as a thank you for him helping out. And it paid off. He got the SV20
cool.
lost fund.
Well,
So-
now answer the big question. Where did Sam finish in advance?
Sam finished 5th in advanced.
5th.
Wow, that's good.
Wow,
Good for
that's
him.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
He was in the hunt. He was there, and we thought he might have a shot, but on his second flight, his tank opened up and he was losing fuel. He developed a leak in his tank on his airplane, so he didn't get to finish his flight on his second flight.
Junk.
That sucks.
That boy's gonna be a pain in your butt before it's over with.
Well, I want to tell you this story though. In profile on Saturday, Sam had a respectable score after the first round, but in the second round, he was pushed out by Dave Hallis. Dave had a really great score, and Sam needed to improve by 13 points to catch Dave and push him out.
Yeah.
To make third place, to be in third place for profile. And I told Sam, I'm like, listen, you need 12 to tie him, you need 13 to beat him. Because we had already seen Dave's score. It was already posted, and he was high dog in third place. And Sam went out and bested his score by 14 and pushed Dave.
All right.
And got,
Cool.
I mean, he flew his butt off, so he did
That's
well.
awesome.
Good.
He was able to pick up 14 points from round 1 to round 2 and edge out a third place finish. So
That's
Good
cool.
for
and
him.
he was flying the same airplane on Saturday that he was on Sunday. So it's too bad that he developed a tank leak on Sunday. I mean, the plane performed perfect on Saturday. It worked all day long, you know, and then Sunday, second flight, I don't even think he got through the 8s and it quit. And we were like, what happened? And the wing was just coated in fuel. And then we flipped it over and we saw the tank had a crack in it. So
Oh, it was a metal tank, was it, Mike?
no, it was plastic tank.
Plastic tank?
Plastic Uniflow, yeah.
Hmm.
Steve, one of Dick Imos, Hobby King tanks, yeah.
Oh, no shot.
Darn.
But I mean, we've been flying it for like 3 years, you know.
Yeah.
But it just let go during the contest at some point. So
Did you?
Very
Did
cool.
you?
Was it around the filler neck or the seam or what?
no, it's here. I can show you. It's right on the bottom. You want to make me big, Charles? It's
You're big.
okay. Well, maybe
Oh,
if
yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
right here on the bottom.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just split right open. It just developed a hole and split right open.
You know,
Bummer.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder about zip tying them too tight because I had that on one too, and it kind of oil cans it, and I don't know then if it vibrates and splits that nylon.
Well, I noticed the Hobby King tank. That's kind of hard plastic.
Yeah.
It's not soft.
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
not flexible. Like
It's not flexible. It's hard. But it's been 3 years we've been using that tank and it finally failed. It doesn't owe us nothing, The other, Charles, one more thing and then I'll be done. I'll shut up. I promise. If you
You're
can make
fine.
it one more time.
Doing fine.
I just want to thank the Smith brothers for their Smith Brothers stunt hard point handle, because that's what I won advance with at King Range International. Thank you, Wayne and Jim Smith, for making the Smith Brothers hard point handle. I love them. I can't say enough about them.
That's pretty good. Pretty good commercial, Mike.
Thank
They
you.
have them there for
He
sale,
wasn't
Mike?
paid for this. This was not something he got paid for, right?
No, I didn't get paid for it. Well, I guess you could say I'm sponsored now, because I got one. I got one of the new and improved ones. So
Oh, nice. Very nice.
there you go. That's King Orange, guys. It was an awesome contest. Great time. Great to see everybody, and very well run. We had a lot of fun.
Very good. Let me welcome Bob Gore. Thank you, Bob, for coming in. Appreciate it. Guys.
I got one, Charles. I got a phone call this week, and somebody was saying that I had blasted the contest last week in Huntersville. I did no complaints about the Huntersville contest. I simply said it was a great run. Anytime Will Davis is running it, you got a great contest. I don't care whether you're at Brodak, you're at Triple Tree, you're at Huntersville. If Will's involved in it, you got a great contest. Combat went well, Navy carrier went well, stunt went well. I had issue with one score on one event, and that's my opinion against somebody else's opinion, and that's as far as it goes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
But I did not mean to be blasting that contest. That's a great
you didn't blast
contest.
this contest. You just blast the old time judging. That's all.
Well, it was just that one. And I have found out since that I should have done a little more research. There was less than 10 points first to third. So it was close. I still think there was a halo effect there, but I have no complaints at all about that. I'll do it again in a minute. The guys that put it on did a great job. No complaints at all with that contest. If somebody thinks I'm blasting the contest, I'm sorry, but that's just was not my intention at all.
I don't think you did. You didn't blast the contest at all.
Well, anyhow, I got a phone call and somebody
contest.
gave me absolute HE double hockey sticks over. I had blasted the contest, and that was not my intention. I do once in a while have an opinion, and it may not be popular, but it's my opinion. And that's all it was, voicing an opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway, for what it's worth.
Yeah, for what it's worth. Hey, this should be a safe space. No big deal. But like I said, I vouch for you. I was here. You didn't blast the contest.
Damn, I'm glad it's you, Phil, and not me this time. That said something people don't like.
Well, what can I say, Steve? Once in a while. I mean, but they also told me that I was the entertainment for the contest. They told me that I got out there Saturday morning and put up a practice flight, which I didn't do. I didn't get a practice. I got there late and did not get a practice flight. Nobody's fault but the traffic's. But anyway, I got out there, and when I got to the overheads, I got as drunk as he said, your feet were just dancing all over the place. I said, yeah, I was trying to keep them under me. But yeah, I was the entertainment for the morning. But like I said, I finished right where I should have finished because I had no business flying. I don't know. I looked up and just got drunk. I don't drink because I hate that feeling. And man, I got drunk. Good gracious, that was awful. But then second flight, I got blown out of it. And truth be told, I probably could have flown out of it, except I got dizzy again when I looked up. So anyway, that's the way that went.
It's a bitch when that happens. I dealing with it, myself.
Was I'm telling you, the second flight, I didn't know where the heck that airplane went. And I saw something move over there and I looked over and found it and was able to save it, but whatever.
Yeah, I told Charles about a few days ago. You know how you get a whoop-de-doo in a road and you kind of feel like
you get
zero G's?
Yeah.
It messed me up. I went for the brakes because I'm thinking, am I having a stroke or whatever? But then once I quit, then I was fine. But it's like looking up for some reason, and now in the car, hitting that deal, it did something to my ears and just makes me feel weird.
You gotta avoid those
Phil,
roads.
it's not something like an ear infection, is it?
That's
think
what I got an ear infection, probably 10 years ago.
Because my
And-
brother-in-law is going through that right now. He kept passing out, can't drive and everything, and they narrowed it down to being just an inner ear infection, they figure. So we just got to wait it out.
Well,
It's
I always
never
have-
cleared up because when I got that, I was out flying Samantha. I could outfly her. And once it happened to me, I just have a problem now with following. Once I start moving my head, I just
Steve,
I
like they
can't
told,
I can't
like
fly
they-
control line anymore. And it's,
Maybe
like
Samantha's
they told
very,
me,
very
like they
competitive.
told me, when you look up, just look straight up and try to fly the rest of that off of just peripheral vision. That might work for you if you got good peripheral vision.
I don't
Could
know.
work.
And it happened to me, when I was flying RC. And that's the first time it ever happened.
Oh Lord, you got it bad then.
So,
Well, I know that I have my allergies kick up this time of year, and it didn't bother me until just a few weeks ago. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'll get through it. Maybe I have to figure out how to deal with it. We'll figure something out.
yeah, next month I got to go see the doctor for my yearly deal, and I'll ask him then. Look in my ears and
Oh crap! I got to go in the morning. Oh, I got to be.
see if it can be
Well, we're
done.
just about ready to end the live stream anyway, so
Yeah.
you got to go, Phil. No problem. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I really appreciate everybody who came in. I know people have left, but we've had a really good show. Thank you so much. Hopefully you have a chance to work in your shop, maybe do some flying this week and come back Friday and share with us what you've been up to. That'd be great. So until then, tight lines and fair winds. See ya.
See ya.